Hello and welcome back to
The Zak
and Buzz
Review.
So we're talking about Doctor Who episode 2 of season 1, not season 40, of Doctor Who with Ncuti Gatwa playing the Doctor. This is episode 2, The Devil's Chord.
The Devil's Chord, and I think just like the tempo of a tune, the storyline actually got better in this one.
Fractionally.
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 Okay. The character of the Maestro
was released from a piano, well, not a specific piano or anything, it was released by playing a special tune.
The Devil's Chord.
Exactly.
A hidden kind of chord that
Releases...
supposedly the Vatican, or was it the church had banned or something. So you'd never play it because it releases the devil.
I don't know.
Anyway.
It is actually a thing, isn't it?
I
believe it is. Anyway,
out of my many talents, one of the things I'm no good at is I am not a musician.
So this creature, Jinx Monsoon is the actor. I don't know. Are they them?
I think Jinx. It's a bit like Lily Savage, where that's the character's alter ego. But anyway,
talking about
Jinx Monsoon,
I have to be careful because I don't want to offend anyone here.
We're not offending anybody. All right.
No, honestly, cool. I don't want
what
to offend anyone. What
I'm going to say about Jinx Monsoon playing the Maestro is they stole the show. That character in the whole of this particular story, the facial expressions, the delivery, everything outclassed everything else
even
on
the
screen.
Doctor.
Even the Doctor. Sorry, Ncuti, but
it was so over the top that,
but really delivered well.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, considering this creature was supposed to be an eternal kind of godlike
omnipotent being
that feeds on music, or is the embodiment of music.
Am I right in to say that its father is the toy maker?
That is insinuated.
That was implied, wasn't it? So these are meant to be kind of these omnipotent beings from the beginning of time of everything.
And it was actually quite interesting that they introduced a similar celestial toy maker character so soon.
Yeah. From
the 60th, where we had the celestial toy maker.
Well, we've only got 6 episodes, haven't we?
8.
8 episodes.
And I mean, by this...
Oh yeah, gosh, we're almost at number 4 now.
Considering the first 2 of the 8 came out same day.
Yeah.
That is a quarter of the season done in one afternoon.
One afternoon, yeah.
I think that is crazy.
Crazy. I don't like the streaming or the early release. I think it should be released when everybody should be going for that prime Saturday night TV time. Exactly. Yep. And then release it on streaming.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a story for another time. The fact is that, unless I remember, when we go back to that spaceship that was on the edge of the universe or something, wasn't it that the Doctor invoked superstition or something? And it's why the toy maker and everybody got back into the universe or something.
I mean, by the same extension, potentially, yeah.
Okay.
So, in this story, first of all, it starts off in the TARDIS with the Doctor, and obviously they go to Abbey Road.
When the TARDIS lands, if you look at the trees, they're all green. It's all springtime, possibly even summer. But the TARDIS has still got a load of brown leaves around the bottom of it. And I wish the set designers sort that out.
What was interesting there is the fact that the Doctor seemed to kind of almost address something, and could that have been what it was? What,
that there's something off?
Yeah.
Well, I know, because they were just going across the crossing. He said,
he looks back.
And there's something a bit off here.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's just this, they keep getting followed by these autumn leaves, even though it's not autumn.
Doctor's costume has changed, and so is his hair. Yeah, he's somehow grown hair in the space of 2 seconds.
Maybe, well, I don't know if it was going into the TARDIS costume department, whether they put on costumes and it was a wig, or whether he did some Time Lord magic and sort of went... like this, but there you go.
It's not a criticism. It's just
that wasn't dealt with.
It's something that I would hope to have been explained.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have that explained. It would have actually, if you're going for gags, it would have been funny if he'd gone.
Well, it could be perception filter.
Perception filter, yeah.
Address these things. The fans love it. I love things like that. Just throwaway lines that kind of add a bit of
you can explain
meat to the bone.
You can explain something like that by just dropping a line. You know. Anyway, so they've got the costumes on, because he keeps changing costume. I don't think he's got a set costume, has he?
No, I mean, I just imagine the amount of Doctor Who alternate figures we're going to get.
Next time we go to a Comic-Con, the amount of different shooty gatwas we're going to get.
Yeah.
Different costumes.
Anyway, so they walk across, obviously, the famous crossing.
Crossing, yes.
And they go and see the Beatles in Abbey Road Studios because you can just walk in to studios.
It doesn't
now.
even need his psychic paper. It just has to say, "I'll have a tea break and we'll take it over."
Yeah, they just seem to walk directly into the studios.
Everywhere's got a Janet or something. Janet says, "We'll take over." Was it Janet or something like that? Anyway, the tea lady goes, "Okay, carry on. Whatever. No security here."
And they just go and see the Beatles, but what's wrong? The fact is that music is really bad.
Shite. My doggy dog, doggy doggy dog. It was a song about a dog.
Anyway, and obviously they're like, where are the Beatles songs?
Yeah, that's what.
And they try and discover this, but then things only start to really kind of develop when they try and introduce music back into the world.
Because that brings the maestro back.
Well, the maestro's already there.
The maestro's there, but the music has kind of gone from the world.
Yeah.
So it's when the maestro hears music, or good music, that's when the maestro comes back.
Yeah.
At this point, I want to address another issue. You know, we had the butterfly effect in the first one. Well, they're in the future, before they come back to Abbey Road, they're in present time.
Yeah.
But the maestro, at the beginning of the show, is shown to appear in the past.
Yeah. And
therefore, the whole of the future should have then gone, with a butterfly, and changed.
Yeah, because they addressed that, and Ruby Sunday says, "Doctor, I'm all right. I'm
from the future.
From the future, we have music. Everything's going to be okay."
Yeah.
They then go from that point to the future,
and it's all changed.
And then it's all desolate wasteland.
But it should have changed like that as soon as the maestro changed history in the past.
If, from what they did in the first episode, is to be taken as verbatim.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Timey-wimey, okay? Timey-wimey. That's my explanation for it.
Yeah.
But, again, we said it was written slightly better, but obviously this took notes from Pyramids of Mars, going to the almost alternate wasteland future that they've got to obviously prevent in the 60s with the Beatles.
Yeah.
So they go back to go deal with the whole thing. How did they actually deal? They had to essentially, in order to save music, they had to trap the maestro. Didn't they?
Had to find the opposite set of chords, which would send the maestro back. You know, and trap the maestro in whatever place that he had originally escaped from.
Yeah.
He, she, I don't know. The maestro is just non-binary. I don't know.
Let's just skip over it. We might offend anyone.
Doesn't really matter, does it? Who cares?
It's whatever you want to be.
It's the story that counts.
But that's what we're talking about. We are talking about the story.
Yeah, well, okay. But then, obviously, you used this... we didn't mention the new sonic screwdriver in the last one, which kept changing colour, interestingly enough.
In this one, yeah.
Yeah, it kept changing colour in this one. And he used the sonic screwdriver to trick the maestro once. Didn't get a second chance there. But he seems to be very scared. I mean, again, he was scared in the first one because of the...
bogey monster.
Yeah, what was the sound? Infrasound. And then in this one, it was remarked on, he's scared. In fact... I think it was Ruby said, "But Doctor, you're scared of nothing." Now we're talking about a being
that
is thousands and thousands of years old, or however, basically, and he is seen, is interacted with and seen thousands of things, but yet he's showing he's being scared again.
Now
it's like
again going back to the bogey monster in infrasound. That is an actual infrasound is an actual scientific thing. And surely he would have encountered that before.
He would have encountered it.
Exactly.
So to say that was the first time he'd ever been scared because of infrasound
is a complete hole.
Anyway, we're back to...
In this episode, he states that This is something I've...
He's split in two. He can't deal with that again.
Last time I faced something like this, I was split in two.
And I can't
go through that again. And... literally, he can't do anything, which is a complete lie because obviously you've dealt with a celestial toy maker who is far more of a threat. Like,
actually, he did beat him by just playing a game of catch.
He beat him like 4 episodes ago.
Yeah.
How can you say that this is something you cannot deal with?
And also the fact that the maestro kept telling him that he's not a genius when it comes to playing the music. But we're talking about the Doctor here, and the Doctor is meant to be a being who is immensely intelligent. It's immensely just like his intellect is huge. Would you go back to that Peter Capaldi one?
Oh, can you remember the episode?
I can't.
I can. Series 9, The Witch is Familiar.
He uses these energy weapons that are going to kill him. The energy from that to
harness it to a time vortex manipulator,
so he can zip himself out there
from invisible assassin robots.
And it was said in that he had to make thousands of calculations within like a split second.
Yeah.
Nobody else could have done that, but
he did.
But now we're talking about somebody who goes bing 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 and then does the last bum note on a piano. Yeah, it was kind of a bit lackluster. That was. Don't worry, the Beatles, they come to the rescue.
Yeah.
John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
So the whole thing of the fact is the maestro obviously wants to capture the last human being alive with music in their hearts.
Yep.
Because that's where music's stored.
Wants to get rid of all music from the universe.
Get rid of
just so.
Ruby.
I'm trying to think of that sound. What's the sound they said when it's just literally the music of, like she said, the nuclear winter.
Yeah.
That ambient sound is all the maestro wants to hear throughout the universe.
Yeah.
Destroy all races. Anyway, yes.
Obviously, maestro wanted to destroy Ruby Sunday and kind of captured her in a musical web.
And then says,
I didn't. What do you think of the CGI on the actual music?
Yeah, well,
it seemed a bit odd, personally.
Well, again, you've got this omnipotent being, and we are assuming that music. I mean, music is music, and if there is other life in the universe, and rhythms and beats are music, so whatever that life happens to be. If there is an intelligent life form out there in the universe that we don't know about as is at the moment, I don't know if they'll write music in the same way that we write music in the same notes. Yeah. Yeah. Literally, sort of visualize it in the same way. Yeah. So this omnipotent being is obviously visualizing their spider, sort of like web with earthling musical notes. You know.
I don't know, something just felt a bit odd on that front.
Yeah.
And to be honest, overall, I feel as if like these kind of omnipotent beings that we've had, Celestial Toymaker, the Maestro, beings of such immense power, like almost immeasurable power, they have been written almost a bit like they have been downplayed on their actual kind of threat.
Well, it's the way the Doctor's being downplayed his ability, you know.
As well, it's kind of a bit annoying.
Yeah.
And obviously, from that point, you have the she is wrong, snowing.
Wrong about.
And obviously, that's the kind of arc.
Well, that's the thing is, once the Christmas music started to play, then it's like, what's this? Obviously, we got a toy maker, Christmas. We got Christmas music. I'm starting to wonder whether the one who waits is going to end up being Santa Claus or something like that.
We'll bring up the one who waits in a minute.
It's going to be Krampus.
They have the music battle. Ruby gets trapped in a cello.
Oh, yeah.
The Doctor gets trapped in a drum. A piano gets thrown out the door conveniently, and
Paul McCartney and Find It.
Yeah, and they
John Lennon.
They manage to trap the Maestro inadvertently.
And return music to the
world, and everything's all good and dandy.
And that was the end of the story. Or was it?
No, it was not. Because then
did Disney have a hand in this? I'm sure
they brought up Susan briefly.
Yep.
But then they go on to this complete side tangent of the musical number.
Okay. Well, yeah. I was going to say they went up on the roof and there was a big sign that says Chris waits.
Well, I think that's after.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I was saying.
Or whatever.
Christmas waits. Anyway.
There was a sign on the roof and it says Chris waits.
But we had a musical number.
Yeah.
And it was raining in Abbey Road.
What?
And And they,
Did I just lose a brain cell or something? What the heck was going on with that?
We didn't need this.
There's always a twist at the end.
There's always a twist at the end. Come on, Zak.
Wow!
Sorry.
You called me Jack.
I'm
going to call you Chaz.
You're going to call me Chaz. I don't mind. I'll take it as a compliment. Anyway, Zak. All together now. There's always a twist at the end.
There's always a twist.
There's always a twist
at the end.
Oh God. It was pants. Okay, so the story was...
What kind of fast were they trying to pull here?
The story was so-so, and then it just went...
It plummeted.
Plummeted into this kind
of absurdity. Like, literally, if you look at my review on Letterboxd of this story, it says dumb episode 2. That's all I can say about it.
I can only think that some kind of department in Disney had a hand in that.
Yeah.
You know, because suddenly as it's rain, they're doing an umbrella dance and it's raining and everybody's having fun.
This is.
We'll suddenly chuck a load of people in wheelchairs in there because we need to do that for the watching public to make sure diversity has got a tick box. You know.
It just.
I mean,
like hits you in the face out of nowhere. This dance number that goes on for a few minutes and like.
What?
Why?
And then we go on to, and then we end up on the crossing again in Abbey Road, and they do from Big with Tom Hanks, the dancing on the piano.
It just seems completely unnecessary.
Yeah, no.
And this is the second time they've done a musical number with Ncuti, haven't they? Is this a thing now? Are we going to get this more and more?
We're going to probably have musical numbers all the way down. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, back briefly to the story. It was nice to see the lady whose name escapes me, who's the costume designer from
Classic Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, who I think made the burgundy Tom Baker outfit or scarf, or she had something to do with it. Brilliant, you know.
Yeah, that was a nice cameo.
Nice little...
You had a cameo from the people from Strictly Come Dancing who probably did the choreography for some reason.
Yeah, but that was a bit bizarre, and I'm still scratching my head over that one.
Yeah, so... Okay, comparatively, Space Babies, Devil's Chord, which did you prefer?
Definitely the Devil's Chord, but I would say it was the performance that was delivered by Jinx Monsoon, which stole the show. But not in the best way. It wasn't a great story. It's just with what was presented on the plate. It was the best bit of it.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a 10 out of 10 for delivery of performance because you outperformed everybody else in that.
But again, I don't really see it that's a character that can really come back to any kind of other than.
Oh, I don't know. There might be some kind of at the end big finale. All these characters pop up or something.
Again, Beep the Meep. Again, mentioned the big boss or something.
The big boss. The one who waits.
Who do you reckon the one who waits could be?
Well, as I say, where that big sign it said Chris waits. Chris Kringle.
Chris waits and carolers.
There you go. It's Christmas.
The sign.
It's to do with Christmas, isn't it?
It's got
and the
answers at Christmas. That's what we're going to find out.
It's to do with Christmas. What do you get at Christmas? Somebody who makes toys. Toys. What do we have at Christmas? Music. I don't know. At this stage, the story writing is so poor that I'm thinking either we're going to have Santa Claus or Kris Kringle turf up as being the one who waits, or we're going to have Krampus. I don't know.
I think that might be a bit too scary, though.
It's too scary for the kids. I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, everyone is theorising, it's going to be somebody we've seen before in classic Doctor Who. Honestly, I don't think that's the direction they're going. I think they're just going to go with something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, there's been no hint to have any kind of...
Why would it be Sutek?
Any classic Who villains or monsters, I don't think we're going to see them.
Because...
the nearest we've got to that is the hint that the Master is still about.
I would love to see the classic Who monsters come back. Sutek, that would be a great choice. But I really don't think that's where they're going with it.
Well, before this particular episode, there was a lot of speculation that the Maestro was the Master.
Yeah.
Or going to be the Master, which obviously wasn't the case. No. So it just goes to say that the fan base, as we're part of the fan base, loves to speculate. But we've just got to take it
as
episode by episode.
Yes.
And that basically rounds off, I think, our review of
The Devil's Chord.
The Devil's Chord.
Out of 10.
I scored...
Bum note or
it's the latest...
This is the latest... This is the hidden Beatles hit we never knew.
Never knew. It's going to be... I think I scored Space Babies. Did I say Space Babies, Bob?
You did.
Space Babies
Several times.
3. I'm going to score this one 3.5. Maybe a 4. I'll give it that 3.5.
Now, I feel, based upon that, I'm again being...
It's only because it's better than Space Babies. Was I over generous with Space Babies? I don't know.
For me, I gave them exactly the same, so I'm going to go 1. I really want this to blow my socks off.
Well,
but it just hasn't hit me in the same way.
For me as a Doctor Who, a lifelong Doctor Who fan, I know I don't want to just think of myself, because Doctor Who's for everybody, and I have spoken to people that have been really enjoying these first 2 episodes, as much as I've spoken to people that absolutely hate it. So, as well as my own feelings, I'm going to just score it off of the general feedback as well as how I feel. Okay. So I'll give it 3.5.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. There you go.
So, the next episode is Boom. Now, we have seen the episode, it has come out, and we've had some time to digest it, so stay tuned for the next review of the episode, written by Stephen Moffat, called Boom.
And don't forget, Zach, there's always a twist at the end. There's always a twist at the end.
Is it really a twist,
though?
There's
always a twist. There's always a twist.
If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to the channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews, possibly Doctor Who related, that you'd like to see in the future.
See you in the next one. Boom.